On the 6th of January 2023, a new mascot horror game entered into the picture. It was named Garten of BanBan. Developed by the Euphoric Brothers, the game takes you through an abandoned kindergarten as you, the player, searches for their missing child. Two of the mascot characters, Jumbo Josh and Apilabud, attempt to attack you along the journey through a chase across a giant hole and an elevator crash. After the crash, the game abruptly ends, revealing a page advertising the upcoming sequel. When the game released, it was very popular amongst many YouTubers at the time, as they made videos playing through the game, although many people despised the game, complaining about its length, drone mechanics, and some even think it's a disgrace to literally any horror game. Today, I'm to give a short but honest opinion. Remember, this is my opinion, and it may be different to yours. Garten of BanBan 1, the game that started it all. Many hate this game, but I honestly think it's alright. If I was given a scale from 1 to 10 and was asked where I would place it, with 1 being the worst, I would give it a solid 6. Not as good as the likes of FNAF and Poppy Playtime, but it's not that terrible. The first thing I'm going to discuss is the duration. I managed to complete it twice within 40 minutes. I don't mind it being short, as to me it's like an introduction to the game, a bit like Poppy Playtime's first chapter being shorter than the rest. The next chapter is significantly longer, but I will talk about that later. Whilst it's short, a lot happens. The chase scene, whilst being quite intense, it is also hilarious, as a Apilabud sneaking up on you whilst you frantically press the button with the drone can be quite hilarious. Jumbo Josh has a lot of popularity, as he was used in most, if not all, thumbnails of YouTubers playing this new game. The next thing is the drone. It is a cool idea, but the execution isn't the best. The drone can be quite annoying to use, but the concept is really cool. It is also quite amusing watching it fly at high speeds from one room to the next. It can be a bit of a pain though, as it might not travel far enough to press the button, wasting your time lining it up perfectly. Also, the drone mode is a little ugly. I don't think it's awful. I think people hate it because it has simplified the gore and intricate detail of games like FNAF and turned them into ugly murals on the wall. Not a lot of detail has gone into designing and making it more immersive, and the solid coloured walls look ugly and too unrealistic to me, but it serves its purpose and offers an amusing experience to many people. Moving on to the second installment, this game is much bigger, taking me just over 2 hours to complete. Some might say that is intentional to make it harder for people to refund the game if they bought it off of the game website known as Steam, which offers guaranteed refunds for people who play the game for less than 2 hours. This game, unlike the first, cost £4.50 or $5.95 US, whilst the other was free. It is understandable as the game is much larger though. Quite a few of the puzzles in the game seem purposely long, such as having to press 4 buttons to open one door, and having to fire roughly 13 fireworks at buttons to open a door to grab a cue card to open another door. The introduction of voice acting was a really nice touch, and makes the game more immersive.
Hey, you there.
We were introduced to 4 new characters: Nab Nab, the Lonely Blue Spider, Sheriff Toaster, we don't actually see in this game, Sosaline, the Very Quick Snail, and Zolphius, who just chills there. Overall, I like this game more, even if it was or wasn't made purposely long with tedious puzzles. I would have gotten more clips, but my computer crashed and I couldn't be asked to replay the game again, so sorry. The drone is the same, but there is now customizable options to change your drone's colour and put a hat on it. But it's still janky and annoying to use. Overall, I rate this game a 7 out of 10, and my favourite character is definitely Sosaline because I like snails, but I also like Nana because he's lonely like me. Also, I don't know if it's just my computer being slow or anything, but the game ran really bad on my laptop. It was super slow and laggy. Garten of BanBan 3. This one is my favourite. It also took me just over 2 hours to complete. In this game, we meet the character we've seen since game 1 in person, Stinger Flynn. This guy is massive, bigger than Jumbo Josh. When he takes you into his dream area, he is still large, but significantly smaller. This game ran much smoother than the last, making for a much more enjoyable experience. The puzzles in this game are much funner and original, including having to give surgery to a new female equivalent of Nab Nab, rightfully called Nabnalina. Other puzzles include finding a way to leave a room, but putting everything back the way it was before when Jumbo Josh comes, so he doesn't notice you move. Of course, there is still a lot of button pressing, but there is even a boss fight against another new character, Tamataki, and its second head, Kamataki, which is quite cool. It's some sort of tortoise and chameleon monster. We also see a mural of Queen Bansilia, the purple kangaroo, and the naughty ones living in her pouch. There's also Mr. Kebab Man, who mimics BanBan and Turtlebird, a blue and red version of a peeler bird. We also meet an evil version of BanBan. This game is much more interactive than the last, with a range of different puzzles and some funny moments, which make me laugh lots each time I see them.
If your pathetic mouth utters another infuriating sentence, I will stuff your whole body in one of those stupid party hats on your...
Overall, this game gets an 8 out of 10. Drone mechanics remain the same. There isn't much horror in this game though. It's much more of an adventure game with some jump scares of course, but nothing absolutely terrifying. Nothing's really that scary in BanBan, but do have more chase scenes which were intense, meaning that's the better game to go if you want more thrill. There is a chase scene at the end, but it's not as intense, more enjoyable as you get to ride on Turtlebird, which is quite funny. Different to the last games, Garten of BanBan 4 starts off with a chase scene against Tamataki and Kamataki through the backrooms with a very janky ending. After that, the player presses the remote and gets knocked unconscious and is dragged away by no other than the Sheriff Toadster, who we finally get to see after 2 games. We also meet the jester Bittergiggle, who was chosen in the last game, and we meet Queen Balsilia, who is the queen of the castle, which is the main hub of this chapter. In my opinion, my least favourite puzzle is the one where you have to walk past vents with Nab Nab hiding in them. There are like 10 rows of vents. To know which vent is rigged, Baby Appealer Bird will tweet when you walk past. I hate this puzzle because it takes ages and is very annoying. There are also lots of button pressing puzzles as well. There's other cool and original puzzles such as finding a code and putting it in to open a door. That one's quite cool. Oh, I forgot, another character is Choo Choo Charles. And there's Kittysaurus who just drops dead after you make him stand on 4 buttons. I think Garten of BanBan 4 is one of the worst for me. There is so much going backwards and forwards and not much excitement and cool stuff. The castle is massive and takes ages to reach the elevator and it gets very tedious. This game gets a 5 out of 10 for me. I also like the mutant Appealer Bird design. I don't know if it's me struggling with puzzles, but each of these games are taking me around 2 hours to beat. Like Garten of BanBan 4, this cost £8.50, a higher price than the 2 and 3, so I don't really know why. All games have the same amount of duration, but maybe it's because 4 and 6 have more dialogue, meaning more voice actors. I'm not going to give an opinion on Garten of BanBan 5 as it's not released, but I will say it has lots of lore. I quite like Garten of BanBan 6, whilst this one is still backwards and forwards, things change each time, such as street lamps switching on and hearing the escaped naughty ones that sound like minions. The aim of this installment is to restore Queen Bansilia's staff, to save the kindergarten from the plague of naughty ones who escaped from the Queen's pouch after Bittergiggle told a joke. Puzzles include moving statues of BanBan to correct places, which is then followed by this funny scene. One of my favourite puzzles is shining lights at the naughty ones, whilst Bittergiggle is tinkering down below. The goal is to protect Bittergiggle so you can fix her lights. I quite like this puzzle because it's interactive, intense and fun. There is another more improved boss fight against the mutant's Appealer Bird, which has a very dramatic ending, but at least the mutant is squeezed back into its original little beak self. This game really ups the horror aspect of the last game, but still has numerous funny moments which I always love. The ending of the game is quite cool, but the noises are a little traumatizing. I still can't get over the fact that BanBan was willing to stab his own friend in the eye to save himself. Harsh but funny. I give this game 8 out of 10. Another game that costs £8.50, but this time I think it is great value for the money. The horror in this game skyrockets, including new creepier characters and environments. We meet Serene Dion, who seems to enjoy torturing his children. The drone has had some modifications. Syringeon made a new drone remote, allowing a player to see from the drone's perspective. Lots of people like this, but I just couldn't. Whenever you fly into a wall, it slowly teleports you back to the starting position, which really annoys me. It sometimes teleports you through walls. The setting of this game is a city full of Syringeon's children, called Syringeon, and the residents that live here are very eerie. There is a chase scene against Bitter Giggle on the rooftops of the skyscrapers. It is quite annoying and hard to tell which way to go first, but the fact that it integrates so well with the scenery is really cool. Oh, but then Sheriff Toaster killed Bitter Giggle. We also get to see its adorable scene and cinematic masterpiece. My laptop does not like explosions. We are given a collar that beeps when we get close to Jumbo Josh. Puzzles including pressing correct combinations of buttons, which was pretty easy. After getting a puzzle wrong, this horrible thing comes after you. It's generally terrifying to me. Using the drones to locate the correct directions to follow. I rate this game 7.5 out of 10, only because the drone and chase scene really frustrated me sometimes. At the end, you peel away BanBan's mural, revealing this blue and yellow BanBan called Flumbo, who is the main character of Garten of BanBan 8, coming out later this year. I will be making a video on that, so see you there. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave your own opinions in the comments below and tell me if I missed anything. Thank you so much for watching my first video. I'm going to leave you watching this epic battle. Bye.